causes death, disease, and disability for children and young people. 1 in 7 adolescents live with a mental health disorder. Around 126 suicide every day, 46 every year. In Germany, between 2010 and 2020, 643 committed suicide and 53 in 2020. Germany deals with mental health issues by giving back support to those at risk, placing mental health at the same level as social and physical health, and counting with 270 mental health hospitals and sufficient workers. Germany's resolutions are: prevent and promote psychic health, recognize mental illness is just as common as physical illness, and provide necessary support to those at risk.
Honorable members of the chair, fellow delegates, did you know 1 of 6 adolescents between the ages of 10 and 19 have a mental disorder? We estimate that 70% of children in Mexico suffer from anxiety and depression because of not receiving the appropriate treatment, neither recognition. Also, because their social interactions have drastically been limited to just a phone call and a Zoom session. This sickness was there before COVID, and it has increased, again, for not receiving neither recognition nor treatment. Mexico sees this as a big problem since it's ranked second in level of stigma. We have worked on guaranteeing mechanisms that assure the prevention and give comprehensive care based on the human rights our children and adolescents have. Mexico proposes that we keep combating stigma around mental health and promote social inclusion, for our children and our teenagers. Also, that we should put social-emotional classes in our schools. The last thing Mexico proposes is to open more health care services and stations. It'll cost some money, but it'll be worth it, I assure you. We need to act now. I give my time to the chair.
Honorable members of the chair, fellow delegates. Sadly, too often, the stigma around mental health prevents people who need help from looking for it. Mental health problems have always been here. In the past, no mental health was seen terrible, but nowadays it is more socially accepted, though it is still not seen the way it should be. China is determined to change this completely. The pandemic has affected us all terribly, either economically or involving your health, etc. Mental videos, manuals, books, articles. China has uploaded these and more to help our people cope with their mental health during the pandemic. We give 8.2% of our GDP to UNICEF for budgetary reasons and to open programs, which is one of the highest GDP donated by countries. We urge you to take action. Either create manuals or books, anything that you think might be able to help your people. We also recommend you to send specialists to school to educate the kids and tell them it's okay to look for help. It doesn't make you any different from anyone. I use my time to the chair.
You buy the books or the devices they need to watch all the videos your country is trying to give for them to learn about mental health. What are you planning?
Not only books or videos, they can be displayed, for example, in TVs, in restaurants, or in public libraries. Thank you, Valerie.
I wish to ask a question, please raise your hand. Delegation of Switzerland, followed by the delegation of Brazil, in Germany, and India. Yeah,
What makes you believe that those will work?
are a reliable source, and we don't think it will work, but we think it may be easier for people to understand what is mental health and why it is so important to look for help. Thank you, Dorothy. How are we supposed to make our children watch those videos or that question I already said in my opening speech, but I will read it. Even if the kids don't want to watch those videos, we could send specialists to school to talk about it and why it is so important.
The next delegate.
Germany, right?
Yeah, you were in Germany. Delegation of Germany.
And give me what are China's resolutions? Can you read them?
Yes. Our resolution is to make more books and more programs that are more accessible to everyone, and to send, like I said before, specialists to schools to make the kids understand mental health more properly. Continue, Franz. Honorable members of the chair, fellow delegates. Do you know that because of the social restrictions such as lockdowns that the pandemic has brought, there has been a 58% increase in overdoses in teenagers? The delegation of parents feels that the issue of mental health in children and teenagers during this pandemic is important to talk about because even though mental health is sometimes not taken as seriously, it is just as important as physical. There was a 54% increase in suicide in teenagers in this pandemic. In France, there was a lot of developmental depression in kids and teenagers affected by this. The delegation of France has given 10 free psychological sessions to the kids from Ukraine, aged 7 to 17. We have a plan to co-create an app with students and health professionals so that everyone who wants more information can get it. The delegation of France encourages other countries and UNICEF to put mental health as a priority, using budgets, events, campaigns, and organizing other things. We encourage UNICEF to help the countries who are economically able to do this. We also feel that a place free of stress should be a human right. Thank you. Thank you, Zara. Our picture awards represent who you want to have depression or even commit suicide. Do you know how many kids were awarded committing suicide attempts? Well, over 3,700 kids around the world studied to kill themselves. COVID-19 has had a huge impact on our field. Many schools remain closed, and approximately 10 million populations remain in poverty and mental health food, and some orders of discrimination and violence. We make our program called Power, but before the pandemic, psychological principles for mental health our children. But now, isolation is giving them depression and anxiety, and around 68% have this. The delegation of Brazil feels that we should do global campaigns to keep also talking the importance of keeping mental health. Also, schools around the world should have the basic needs solved. And finally, we should have programs that sensibilize mental health so parents can take early treatment. Thank you, Delegate. I now need to Delegates, the floor is open. Are there any points on kids and they can detect symptoms of depression, anxiety, and some other mental disorders? Thank you, Delegates. Delegates, the floor is open.
Hello, honorable members of the chair, fellow delegates. Did you know that suicide is the third most common reason of death in teenagers? 27% of teenagers report anxiety and 13% of depression around the world. This has to be on the agenda. We can't have our young population constantly suiciding or threatening to do so. During COVID-19 lockdown, 37% of young people in Switzerland showed moderated or severe signs of anxiety disorders and or depression. These numbers increased due to the pandemic. In Switzerland, people have access to various mental health facilities, being public or private. Patients are liable for support and mental health care from the government, but we still need to work in identifying, supporting, and creating strategies to deal with mental health on age-minus specific groups. The delegation of Switzerland proposes to give funds and help other countries improve their healthcare systems. Otherwise, we are committed to cooperate with the international community, giving them resources to grow in this topic. We can also promote the importance of discussing mental illness so that it's no longer a stigma among our young population. We need to strengthen this resilience to improve prevention and care. Yield my time to the chair.
Thank you, Delegate.
Fellow delegates, imagine that one day you wake up and go say hi to your son, and you find him hung in his bedroom dead. He killed himself, and you didn't know he was thinking of it. You don't know why. You were a good parent. Even though it hasn't happened to you, it has happened to thousands of parents. To be exact, 31 children die every day in India due to the pandemic and mental health. India is home to the largest number of adolescents with mental health problems and suicide in the world, and this grew because of the pandemic. Most children lost their education due to a lack of technological devices. They also weren't able to see their friends because of the isolation. In their homes, many parents lost their jobs and couldn't sustain the family correctly. India feels that education in children should not be missed and that they should go to school in safe conditions. That is why we have started a vaccination campaign, and we suggest children to bring a COVID test to school. The delegation of India proposes to continue researching and working with other countries to prevent mental problems in our children and teenagers. I yield my time to the chair.
You may have mental health issues, and you might not know. Well, 50% of all kids have mental health issues. They could get depressed, anxiety, lower distress, and even commit suicide. In the Democratic Republic of Congo, we understand it's our young population has been affected with mental health issues due to several causes related with poverty and access to health services. Poverty is a disease after a risk factor of mental health. In a recent study to see the psychological aspects during the COVID-19 pandemic, one of the causes was a lack of work and isolation. The Democratic Republic of Congo has worked close with UNICEF to reduce the mental health problems in its community. There are programs that treat mental health in early stages for children exposed to our countries. We have studied the relationship between parent mental health and adolescent behavior, the stigma and the relationship between school attendance. But in my country, it's an essential thing to have students back in school, where they can socialize with other students in their age and not be secluded with the depressed parents who will just make the situation worse.
Thank you, Delegate.
I feel my time to the chair.
Thank you, Delegate. Delegate, for how long do you like to moderate
Moderated comments for 10 minutes and a duration per speaker of 60 seconds.
Yes, Delegate, that's in order. We are having a moderated practice for the duration of 6 minutes. 10 minutes. Delegation to propose a motion, you may ask me.
The result of mental health disorders lead to inability to work or death of young people. This translates into the loss of billions of dollars in economic growth in Europe. I would say,
What do you want to say?
that I already finished my comment.
And can you establish?
What?
Can you establish?
That I already finished my comment.
Okay. Delegation to second the motion. You may ask me.
Thank you. Mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It affects how we think, feel, and act. It also helps determine in how we handle stress, relate to others, and make choices. Mental health is important at every stage of life, from childhood to adolescence and through adulthood. The United States has been working with global states to support building community mental health services. For example, the IAPT, which is a service for people with depression and who needs a care service. We have also worked with destinations that protect children and teenagers with mental health and community.
Thank you, Delegate. Delegates who participate, please raise your button. Delegation of Germany, you are now the participant.
In German schools, children with symptoms are tested by social workers and psychologists, and if they feel positive, they will be given a special treatment. Also, Germany has a program to render work counseling services. And this is an organization that provides counseling for students on personal conflicts and studying in specific topics.
Delegates who wish to participate, please raise your button. Delegation of China.
In the delegation of China, we believe that one of the reasons why mental health problem numbers are so high is because of the way it is socially seen. We also believe that a child's mental
World Children 2021, promoting, protecting, and caring for children's mental health. Children across the world are suffering from depression, anxiety, and other kinds of mental problems. We are not treating them well. And reasons for these kinds of problems include economic problems and children not able to see their friends. Because it is a big problem in our country, we have implemented different types of programs to help children in our country. One of these programs is the Manadalpan, which covers a wide range of activities to provide psychosocial support to students, teachers, and families dealing with mental health and emotional well-being. We promoted the National Plan of Action for Children, which ensures children's well-being, education, and protection. We also have the National Mental Health Policy, which promotes mental health and prevents mental illness.
Thank you, Delegate. Delegate who wants to participate? Yes, Delegate of Mexico.
Thank you. As Mexico said before, we have opened healthcare stations and services because, well, in our Mexico's opinion, when you open healthcare services, then the people who go there are treated and they get the help they deserve and need. So Mexico just wants to say that if anybody agrees on opening more health care stations or services, I'm with them. And Mexico will be happy to support them.
Serious business.
Delegate. The chair would like to hear the opinion of the United Kingdom.
My opinion of what I agree with Switzerland and India to make classes more shorter, but maybe like how do you say después de las clases con el taller after school giving classes to the children that are more interested in the team, so they can prevent the issues in mental health.
Thank you, Delegate. Delegation of Germany.
The delegation of Germany thinks that the most inform people and children about what's happening, and then give sessions with psychologists, so children know why they are there, and know and recognize that, and know if they have, and know that if they recognize they have a symptom, go and talk to an adult so they can help.
Thank you, Delegate. Delegation of India.
The delegation of India agrees with what Mexico is doing right now by putting classes in school, social or emotional classes as an essential class, and put them weekly and making them sometimes fun and sometimes where children get teach and know about the situation and give their opinions. So we think that what Mexico is doing right now really helps children overcome their mental problems and think of them and focus on them and focus on themselves.
Thank you, Delegate. Delegation of Switzerland.
The delegation of Switzerland totally disagrees with the idea of making weekly or short-term classes. It should be daily, because this problem has already gone really, really big and hard to solve. The past generations, we didn't do anything with the past generations. So this is a time when we can solve this problem. The classes with the psychologist experts should be daily and at least medium time.
Delegation of China.
And thinks that we should also give private sessions to the psychologists of the school, because the kids or teenagers might not be comfortable speaking of their problems in front of all the class.
Delegation of France.
Delegation of France agrees with what the delegation of the United States and Switzerland has said, because we need to teach kids about this topic for them to know, but also to teach parents for them to know if the kids are mentally stable, and if they're not, they can help them. Thank you, Delegate.
To kids. But how about every time opening and closing schools because of COVID? What if first we deal with COVID, we give some measures and vaccines and make the country and the population more prepared for this? How to open schools? Germany proposes to open schools by this, giving measures and some support, economic, financial, and to the poor countries and also in leading countries.
It agrees with India about opening schools because the generation of India says we have the same ideas. And also in school we can give social and emotional classes. And also I agree with China and Mexico about sending specialists to orphanages because we are here to help all kids, not only the ones who are at school.
Delegation of Switzerland.
The delegation of Switzerland proposes the motion for an unmoderated caucus with a duration of 10 minutes.
Yes, Delegate, that's in order. Who seconds the motion? The delegation of India seconds the motion. Are there votes in favor? Against? Abstentions? Delegates, we are in abstentions. The motion clearly passes. Delegates, we are now in a moderated session. China, you may now present.
The delegation of China would like to mention to everyone that we should not only open schools, since not everyone has not every kid, not every teenager goes to school. We should not only open schools, we should not only think about that, but we should also cannot go to school, like orphans or people that are forced to work. We need to find solutions for them.
Delegation to second the motion.
The delegation of India during the unmoderated caucus created a paper where a lot of different countries signed to open schools again. United States signed with 0.8% of its GDP, Germany 1% of its GDP, UK with 7 million pounds, India with 0.1 of its GDP, Switzerland with 0.1 of its GDP, and France with 0.09 of its GDP. India suggests that China and other countries sign this paper so we can get schools again in the whole world. This wouldn't imply joining, it would just be helping the world.
Thank you, Delegate. Delegation of Germany.
The delegation of Germany thinks that the first step is to open schools, and then we can start with other things and programs.
Thank you, Delegate. Delegation of United States.
The delegation of the United States would like to remember all that, well, yeah, opening schools is one of our main, proposals to find a solution to this problem, but there are many protocols we need to follow that many countries don't accept. So we have to find better ways to find a solution to this problem. And also that COVID-19 is not our main problem here. It is affecting really hard, but we should focus more on mental health behaviors before the pandemic.
Thank you, Delegate. Delegation of